What's up?
Hi.
We've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, right?
Yeah, this one's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it definitely hits home. Um, hey, run the thing. See if anybody run the ticker.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Got it.
um, yeah, the twin flames thing, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix or if you've seen it on.
There's a new one on Prime.
Yeah,
So we found it first. Well, you found it first on Netflix. And that's very much the one from the people that have left and family members that are not in contact with their loved ones that are still in it and that kind of stuff. But I recently found this one on Prime that is more from a journalist perspective because there was a journalist that actually
yeah.
met
She
them.
she was ballsy too. She did not.
Yeah. She she had heard about them and then decided to start reaching out and actually reached out to the founders of this Twin Flames University, Jeff and Shelia. Is that how you say
Shalea.
Shalea or something? And actually got them to respond to her and she actually went to their home and that was when it was the perspective of what she saw in their actual personal life because as we all know, we can create a story and create a persona for ourselves.
Yeah, so I mean,
You know,
basically what they do is they promise you that you'll find your I don't know, from lack of a better words, soulmate.
mhm.
And they would, you know, I
They,
like
they say that your one soul and your twin flame is
it's
the
so
split
weird.
of two souls.
Yeah, right.
So it's like
It's
when you're born, you're half of your soulmate, like you're half of your soul, and
dude,
then your other one, like, yeah,
they try to I don't yeah,
that's
sure.
that's pretty much the understanding that I got of that.
S- but they make it so it's so hard to understand, I think, because mostly because I think that they have been trying to grow their business over years. So what happens is there's not enough dudes to like be a twin flame with these women. And because of that, they have to keep moving their business along, right? They can't let their business stop. And so they just create like there you can see it in the documentaries. You can see them kind of adapting to where their business is at,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, so from watching it, my understanding, and again, this is just the perspective that I've gotten from watching it, is that she believed in this whole notion of twin flames. Now, I don't remember where she got it from.
Shalea, yeah.
Shalea, yeah. I
Well,
don't
and she
know.
changed her name. Like her name is Megan Plant.
Yeah. And
And
she
she
changed it
yeah.
to oh, that was also somebody new in the new one is that her father actually spoke about her.
Yes.
And that was very disheartening and very sad as a parent. Um But it was she believed in this, and then, when Jeff left, I guess, his childhood area or whatever and decided to kind of see the world, and he started to change his name a lot but always had this business entrepreneurial feeling of, like, I wanna make a lot of money and not have to do a lot of work,
Yeah.
and so when they found each other, it was she could spread her teachings because she had been, practicing spirituality and all this
Yeah.
type of stuff for a long
Well,
time. So
yeah, and
she
she
could,
said that she could talk to crystals, like
yes,
crystals were talking to her
yes.
or
So
something.
she could spread her teachings and he could build his business. So, like, the two
Right.
of them together, again, in this whole principle about twin flames being soulmates and you find your other half of your soul, like, it really was the perfect combination for the two of them.
Yeah. It was a perfect
And
storm.
yeah, and what it does is it quote unquote guarantees that they're going to help you find your soulmate. They're gonna help you find the love of your life. They're gonna help you find the person that you are meant to spend the rest of your life with. And who doesn't want to hear that when you're struggling to find somebody? They prey on loneliness. That's what they prey on.
Yeah, that's they had the demographic, and it's not I yeah, I absolutely think it's loneliness, but also I absolutely think that um, it's preying on people that don't necessarily know who they are yet. It's
Yeah.
preying on people that don't know what they want yet.
Mhm.
And so you catch these people in this vulnerable state, and it I don't know. It's just for me, and they've they found the right audience to uh to prey upon.
Yeah. I mean, you hear the stories about what? I guess in a way I kind of equate some of this to like um love at first sight,
Oh,
where
the
it's
reality
like
show that they tried to
no, just the theory of there's a
oh,
thing as love at first sight. You know, a lot of these members that would find their twin flame or who they felt like was their twin flame or whatever is they talk about these sparks. They talk about these instant connections from the beginning, whether they're in relationships or they're not. You know, one of the members talked about like making eye contact, like full eye contact with her twin flame that she believed was her twin flame and was like, "Oh my god, this is what it is." You
yeah.
know, or you know, if you have a moment like that and you have an experience like that, then they would go online and they would search, "What does this mean? I don't understand. This is all new for me." You know, when you have a spiritual connection to something, it's a very different experience for most people if they've never had one before. So then they go online and they search like, what does this mean? And how does this, where can I find answers to this? Why can't I get over somebody? Why can't I let somebody go? And what happens is that when you search stuff like that and then you get on Google, it's twin flames.
Yeah.
And when you look on these sites, it promises you um community. It promises you teachings. It promises you work and tools that you can really lean into to find that
Yeah,
person.
their fun one was what? It's the mirror exercise, which
Yes.
I mean, granted isn't theirs. Uh
Yeah.
they didn't come up with it, but it's just basically like you look in the you're mad at your partner or the person that you're trying to be with or whatever, and you have to change the language, right? You have to change the pronouns to I'm mad at him because of blah blah blah.
But
Eh,
it's taking everything personally. It's
Yeah.
literally saying like,
Well, you
it
can make somebody mirror themselves 85,000 times.
right.
It's to me it kind of is a little bit like Scientology. It becomes your fault that you can't be with whoever it is you want to be with. It becomes your fault that you're not doing the work enough. You're not looking inside enough. You're not
Mhm.
doing enough. It becomes um a very dangerous place.
Yeah, because you're literally being told that every single thing that is going wrong in your life is your fault.
Right.
And it will continue to be your fault. And then they would turn around and say, well, you need to be doing more. You need to convince this person more. You need to speak to them more. One time, Jeff even said the founder of it even said, like, go take your stuff and put it in his house. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like breaking boundaries, and there were lawsuits on stalking, and it's like you go above and beyond to find your person. And I think that type of message being misinterpreted by the leaders and the absurdity of it takes it out of context. Yeah, when you want to be with somebody, you do everything that you can to be good for that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, and we can take the mirror exercise, for instance. That was something that, helped me a lot on my journey when I was working with my coach. It wasn't necessarily called like a mirror
Yeah.
work, but it was like mirror moments. She was like my mirror. I was able to work through things because I would say something and she's like, okay, this is what I heard you say. And I was like, oh. And then like and you
That's very different than it's all
yeah,
your fault.
exactly. Exactly.
Very different. You taking personal accountability for things is very different than it's all your fault, figure it out.
Completely.
And if
Completely.
you can't make your twin flame your everything, it's your fault.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I just
But this guarantee of like follow my teachings and you will find somebody.
yeah.
Your true, what do they call it? Uh
Oh, your harmonious
Harmonious. Yeah,
yeah,
you're going to find
that's their
your,
verbiage, harmonious union.
and that's the
Yeah.
highest value.
Yeah.
That's the highest value in it, and you're going to find your person. And like I said, who doesn't want to find somebody? Who doesn't want to be with somebody? Who doesn't want to have a life with somebody? Um and so the promises are very inviting. The
Yeah.
promises are very
Especially if you're going through something like that, especially if you're going through,
mhm,
if you're vulnerable.
mhm,
It absolutely.
mhm.
Yeah, you're absolutely gonna fall for that.
Or heartbreak
I mean, and some of
or
their packages for the stuff that it's like $2,000
yeah.
and then come work in my house for free.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, that was the thing. It's like what are you presenting? And then what's really going on behind the scenes? The one thing that, we were talking about is um they really started to shoot themselves in the foot when they would record
All their
all their phone calls, and that they would put stuff in writing. So for instance,
will text people
yeah,
or
yeah,
email
texting
or
people. Yep.
like it was like, yo, that's weird.
Yeah, and you would see these clips of these videos where people are literally breaking down and Jeff is laughing at them.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And like scolding them almost like children, but not in a way that's going to be receptive. It's like you're laughing at me when I'm literally having a breakdown. That's not going to help.
The most the most ridiculous part for me is when they run out of dudes. And you said this multiple times. Jeff doesn't feel like a dude that you would want to follow. Like no masculine man, no there he's not the dude that you want to follow, right? He weighs like 110 pounds soaking wet. He is trying to look like Jesus, his words, not mine.
Yeah. I mean, not only just his appearance or whatever, but the way that he presents himself and the way that he speaks. Like when you see these clips of him in videos, like doing all these things and acting like a child and having puppets, and it's just like mocking and laughing and like snapping his fingers, like that is not somebody that most men aspire to be.
Yeah.
To men, that's not a very masculine, macho, for a lack of better word, like macho
Yeah.
persona
He's
of who they
no.
look up to.
It's a very wide scope between Jeff, whatever his last name is,
Yep.
whatever,
Mhm.
and Andrew Tate, right? You know what I mean? You and wherever if Andrew Tate is falling from grace right now, whatever.
Mhm.
But initially, Andrew Tate is your definition of masculinity, your definition of the man that's going to take care of you, the definition of the man that's going to,
Mhm.
provide, protect, whatever. Jeff is not. Like he's the most wiry dude ever.
Mhm.
He looks like he's on speed 95% of the time.
But that's also something that I don't think that there were any men that were actually interviewed for these documentaries.
No,
They were all women.
there were definitely men in there, but what happened was they ran out of men, right? So what happens when you run out of men and you still have to feed this whole
Theory of
find your twin flame?
Mhm.
You have to create something for these women who are desperately seeking
A companion.
yeah.
Yeah. And
You
their
have to
person, yeah.
create you have to keep your business going, to keep your theory going, to keep your model going, you have to create something. And what did they create? They created the divine masculine and the divine feminine
Yep.
when they ran out of men.
Yep.
So what you can make twin flame,
Profitable.
right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
in order, like, they had to, what, you have to find a twin flame soul for somebody. You can't let, so you're promising people that you're going to find them a twin flame. If you don't find them a twin flame, then your,
Message is wrong.
yeah, your business model's
Your
over.
guarantee is
Yeah.
wrong. So
Yep.
what ended up happening was that they, like you said, they were running out of men. So what they did is they apparently had this huge awakening one night where, God, spirit, what whoever however you name them,
Yep.
called to them and told them that these people are each other's twin flames, and it's all women.
And it was all, yeah, it was
It's
two
all
women.
women.
And it's like, hey, you're the divine masculine and you're
Right.
the divine feminine.
Yes.
And
And they
just,
sold it like
yep.
God spoke to them from his lips himself. Like,
Yep.
this is
Like Moses came down with the
right.
rock and it was written in the rock.
That was it.
Yep.
That was it. And so then what ended up happening was that there were started to be people that very much um had a hard time understanding this. And so what he kept saying was that you are oh shit, what did he say? It
You're
was like
blocked.
you're blocked.
Yeah.
You're resisting your actual truth. And there was one that was so bad that he was forcing a woman who was, I guess, identified to them as the divine masculine to change her name.
Yeah.
And he
From Anne to Dan.
yeah, and he kept asking her, "Well, why
And he kept calling her Anne the man.
right.
It's like,
Right.
where are we? What
Again,
are we
you're the
doing?
leader of this, and you are mocking people that are legitimately saying, I don't feel this. This doesn't feel right to me. And he's like, um, he says, why would you keep such a feminine name?
Yeah.
And she said, because this is who I am. I never felt called to change my name.
It's the only name I've ever known. It's
Right.
right. Yeah. No,
And
she was
so
absolutely resistant to it.
and he was so forceful.
Yeah. Yeah, it
He
was gross. It
he's
really was gross. If you watch it,
yeah,
it's the prime. My wife is talking about the Prime
the Prime
documentary.
documentary, yeah.
I mean, the other one's gross too. If you watch it
Yeah.
on Netflix, it's
Yep.
absolutely gross. Especially the third episode. But yeah, the Prime one, yeah, it's gross.
And then he reaches out to Anne's partner, who's a woman and is the divine feminist or
Feminine.
divine feminine,
Yep.
and is criticizing her and bullying her. Why won't you guys just fall into your gender roles? Why are you doing this? You guys are looking stupid. There's no reason to do this. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Stop doing this. Blah 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 blah. And it was to the point where they both were like, he hasn't learned we're not the submissive types when it doesn't feel connected to us. It doesn't feel right to us. So then they were kicked out
Yeah.
because they were a like very valued relationship.
Yeah, they had found their harmonious union or whatever the
Yeah, they were
hell.
a very valued couple in the space. So if they don't believe, then how the hell are you going to get everybody else to believe
Yeah.
too? Um,
Here's this. This killed me. This killed me watching what your divine masculine wants you to know.
Go to the next slide. What does it say?
Oh shoot, wrong screen.
Mhm.
Sorry. Let's go.
No, go back. The little arrow. So there's a couple slides. You see
Oh yeah,
right in the
yeah,
middle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. My dearest, my heart's greatest wish is to pursue love with you. Filling our days with endless joy and happiness, I yearn to offer you nothing but the best, uh, blah, blah, in each moment and in every aspect of who you are. My love stands on. So,
Oh wait, go to the next one. What's the next one?
probably Follow this page to learn more about how to reveal your true twin flame and heal your way into harmony in your union. So, like, in order, they have to make women want to be men in order to be able to, like, fulfill what they promised.
Mhm.
And it's just, uh, and also too, you're preying on, you find a mask les or you find a butch les, and you're preying on that.
Mhm.
Like, you're preying on those people who are just trying to figure out who they are. You can,
Or you're finding
especially
people.
these young ones. Like, that's the
Yep.
one that, like, these, 20 to 25-year-olds who are just trying to figure out who they are, and you're telling them that they have to be men and they have to transition and accept your masculine name and
Yep.
accept your this and accept your that.
Yep.
I
There was another couple of a divine feminine and a divine masculine, quote unquote, 2 women that wanted to have children. And Jeff said that he was the only one that could pick out the sperm donors for them.
Yeah,
Because
I remember that. Yeah.
obviously, you have to keep producing to keep this ideal alive. And he was the only one that could pick because he speaks right to God himself, and God will tell them the right person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well, they
it
had their own issues with trying to get pregnant, so
yeah,
I'm
but they
sure.
say it wasn't because of infertility. They say it was because um they were trying to get a girl. So it wasn't because they
Yeah.
couldn't get pregnant on their own, or they didn't know they could get pregnant on their own. Maybe they tried, maybe I don't know. But part of the decision to do it that way.
I don't know, to me, and I was kinda hoping, I thought Jana might be on today. She had a lot of stuff to do today. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to her again,
Yeah.
but, to me, I'm wondering, is it a weird way to trans away the gay? You know, so their whole premise is that nobody in their cult is gay. They're all straight,
Mhm.
but there's just one woman that's masculine and one woman that's feminine, and it's they're not gay. They're straight. Just a
Mhm.
woman, one woman is the
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
And to me, that sounds very close to trans away the gay.
Mm.
And that hurts me.
Mhm.
That I mean, it really does. It hurts me because as a mask as a mask lesbian, you have to go through so much to kind of figure out who you are, figure out your place, figure out that you're, whether you are trans or you're not trans.
Mhm.
You even talking to Kai, like, you have to go through so much, and to prey on some of them that don't know what's happening yet, that don't realize yet that it's okay to be a woman and love other women.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it just feels like they're preying on those people that haven't figured it out yet. Like, it's okay for you to just be you.
Mhm.
It's okay for you to just be a woman that loves a woman.
Mhm.
And it's okay for you to have, I whatever you wanna call it, more masculine tendencies, or you like to play football or whatever, that
Right. Right.
you don't wanna wear a dress, basically. Like,
Yep.
it it's okay to be that,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
And it really does, it hurts me watching that shit because they're preying on people that might not wanna wear a dress, but still wanna be Anne.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
that, to me, that's just that's the worst kind of bullshit ever. You you're just preying on people weaker than you at that point.
I think it just takes it's how you can control somebody and how you can take from them. So many of these cults is like, what can you give me? What can I take from you? All of those memberships and stuff that you were talking about that this Twin Flames offers. all of the proceeds go to Jeff and Shilia themselves.
Yeah.
That is how they are living. And he literally says, my business, my business, my business. No, literally what they're doing is they are being personal checks to
Yeah.
them. They don't pay anybody.
Yeah, because not only that, aren't they going and working in their houses? They're cooking for them. They're cleaning from
Exactly.
them. Like
Yep.
he's using them the same way that,
The same way,
yeah,
exactly. And I also think too that no matter who you are, no matter what you're trying to figure out, at the end of the day, we want to be validated, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, and we want people, we want community.
yeah,
We really do. We're
yeah,
not meant to be alone.
no,
We really want community. And if you don't have a person, like you're my person, having a community is a plus. You're my person. I have you. You know what I mean? And if you don't have that, you're searching for something. You're searching for someone. You're searching for any sort of connection. And that's what these communities are based off of is loneliness. And it's
to make someone who's to make a woman who's straight feel like by being with another female that is trans and a boy and trying to make them think that they're still straight by being with another woman, however they represent themselves,
Mhm,
is just it's just wrong.
mhm.
That's not the you know what I mean? Everybody should be allowed to be with who they want to be with. Be you're straight, you're straight. Yay. You're gay, yay. You're trans and you wanna be with whoever and they wanna be with you. Like, as long as the person wants to be with you, to me, that's fine. The minute that you start forcing people to think and even though right? If you're with a woman, you're a lesbian
Mhm,
because you're a woman.
mhm.
If you're a woman and they're forcing you to be with another woman who's saying that they're a man, that's gonna sit in you a little bit, right?
Mhm.
It's that's that goes against everything that you know. It's and I'm sorry, and it's a hot take, and people are probably gonna be mad, but if you're a biological woman with a biological woman, no matter how they represent themselves, you're gay.
Mhm.
And this whole transing away the gay thing, to me, kind of starts to sound like the verbiage of pray away the gay.
Yeah. Well, one of the parts in the Prime's um, series was that I think a historian, I don't remember what she classified herself as, but I know she was a historian of I think gender or something like that, and she made the comparison to like what was the not a concentration camp.
No.
No, the conversion therapy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
conversion therapy.
conversion
Yeah,
therapy.
yeah,
That this is coming off very much like a new version of conversion therapy,
yeah.
and I think it has a lot to do with what you're saying. Is that um, how can we build a quote unquote heterosexual empire when you're only attracting women?
Yeah, when your empire only
Consists of
yeah,
biological women.
yeah, yeah, and and to me, it's so maybe they I don't wanna but I don't think that they thought that it would just be all women,
No.
but at the same time, now that you know that you have all women, adjust your business model to fit that category and maybe change your message. Don't change it to, "Oh, well, you guys are best friends and you hang out together all the time, so I'll just make you a boy, you can be the girl,
Mhm.
and you're twin flames." What the fuck?
Yeah, but that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
They
Eh,
did change their
who would
message as soon as they realized
yeah.
that they were attracting women. How do you attract how do you keep this empire going when you're only attracting women, you come up with this whole concept of a divine masculine and a divine feminine.
Yeah.
Like,
And that and you can ask me a million times, but I have very feminine traits and I have very masculine traits.
mhm,
It's not like I have one or the other.
right. Hmm.
There's a lot of masculine shit I like to do, and there's a lot of feminine things that are about me. You know what I mean? There's not just one. You
Yeah.
can't just look at me and you as a couple and like assert that I only have masculine traits.
Yeah.
It Yeah, do I maybe I present more masculine? That's fine. I'm okay with that. I choose that
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yep.
But uh, do I have all of the feminine things. I freak out 3 days before my period. I eat all the way through my period. I
Yep.
emotional eat. I emotional work out. I it just you know, I'll during what is it? Like 2 or 3 days before my period, I'll cry at a Kleenex commercial, whatever. I I have all those things. It's not like I don't have them.
Yeah.
They didn't disappear.
But I mean, I'll also share this with you. So when I was in my group program, when I was trying to start CG Fit or whatever, we talked a lot about this whole masculine and feminine energy. And it's just the different type of energies that you use in. And the masculine energy is usually like the structured stuff, scheduling. We like things, single task oriented, problem solvers and whatever. Whereas the feminine energy, you kind of go with the flow. That's your creative side they talk about. You're multitasking, um, making small things big, needing reassurance, needs appreciation. So it was just the conversation about like the different traits that we all have, and it still doesn't take away from the fact that I am a woman.
Right.
You are
We
a
all have
woman,
yeah, we all have both.
Right.
There's probably some like one or that we lean to one side or the other.
In
Sure.
in certain
Yeah,
situations
I'll take
too.
that.
You know what I mean?
But
Like even
also,
something like this, like, you know, more feelings, for the masculine, protective,
well, I'll say this, when there's a freaking bug I don't like, it depends on what bug it is, but if it's a bug I don't like, I'm calling Jeff.
Me
You know what I
too.
mean? I'm not going to get it.
Me too.
Absolutely not.
Me
I'm not
too.
catching a bird that gets trapped anywhere. I'm
Yep.
not No, I'm calling a dude. You know why? Because
Yep.
that's dude shit. Bye.
Yep.
It's I
I mean, I could use an example for us or whatever. We when something big happens, you know, I we always say I respond first and you respond later. So in those
have
moments,
feelings. You have
yeah,
feelings
yeah,
first. I have feelings later.
right.
Yeah.
And so in those moments, I'm very much leaning into my feminine energy. I'm very emotional. I need a lot of attention. I am very vulnerable. There's a lot of stuff going on. I need to feel seen, whatever, whatever. And then my masculine energy really isn't there. I'm not able to kind of get my shit together and blah, 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 blah. And then it switches.
Yeah.
Then I'm able to be there in that quote unquote masculine energy for you to be able to support you when you are feeling those
It
things.
feels like we're getting defined again and getting put into those boxes again.
Oh my God, always.
And it's just,
Always.
can I just live my life? Do I
No,
have to? I don't.
no, we can't.
I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not.
Yep.
For 2 seconds that like I don't feel like I need to be a boy.
Hmm.
There's none of that. I don't take anything away from what it is that men can do and what men provide and what men are here for.
Hmm.
I respect all of that. Also, I like a lot of the stuff that they can do and that they provide and whatever, and I kind of model how I present myself after that because I like it. Doesn't mean I want to be anything different than what I am or disrespect anything that I am or give a shit about the fact that I cry and eat chocolate day 2 of my period. You know what I mean? It just it is what it is.
You still go through it.
Yeah,
Everybody still goes through
not
it. So
denying any of it,
right.
but to try to make people do that is, and I do feel like a lot of society right now is trying to trans away the gay. And I'm open to any conversation otherwise, but you're big pharma, I feel like plays a big role in it, right? There's a lot of money in kids transitioning.
Has a ton of money and
And I hate that. I hate it so much. But yeah, I see where that's happening.
yeah.
Also, it if you can just trans away the gay and everything's pleasing to the eye and you see one masculine and one feminine walking around together, for some people that's just going to be easier.
Mhm.
And
Well, we always say that you and I are easier for a lot of people to look at because when we walk down the street, people think that we're a heterosexual couple
yeah,
just by the way that we physically present ourselves.
yeah,
And if people don't actually know us,
I've said it and I'll say it a million times and I
mhm,
absolutely believe it. I think we are, I've always called myself a butch bridge, right?
mhm,
I'm it's very easy for straight women to like me because I'm not whatever man hurt them,
mhm.
but also I look enough like a dude to make them comfortable.
Yeah, you give them the feminine connection
Right.
that we desire to have.
And also I don't freak them out because in their like how they visualize themselves, I look like a dude.
Right,
The same way that we walk around, we can act however we want to act. No one's going to look crazy at us because everyone thinks we're a heterosexual couple.
right. Mhm.
And that's whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Again, I always say the only people that need to know are the and understand are the people that know us. But I mean, we laugh about this all the time. People that know us and have known you your entire life still say the same thing about our son.
Yeah.
Well, you both are tall
Yeah.
and they know.
Yeah.
And they know. And it's not anything to be like they're not being mean or anything like that. It's just that's a common thing that people say,
It's
you know?
it's difficult conversations that people don't normally want to have.
Mhm.
And I get that. And I literally am just I'm trying to figure it out too.
Mhm.
I realized I'm in my 40s. I kind of have never had these conversations. The world has changed so much since I came out and the world that I
Mhm.
grew up when I came out.
Mhm.
And I really I don't understand what's happening and I want to.
Yep.
And it just with this is actually like a business, the Twin Flames universe is actually a business that's operating now.
Yeah, it's still
Like
operating. Yep.
they still have 40,000 followers. They still, they're still making money. He's still driving Corvettes or whatever the hell it is
Mhm.
he's driving. And it just you, this environment is making it so it's just easy to prey upon the people that are just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, because this journalist was really talking about the fact when she finally wrote her article or whatever is that it's very cult like. Because what do cults do? They isolate you from the family. That's one of the things. It's
That
one of
they
the
did immediately was like,
that's
hey,
yeah, that's one
if
of
your
the
family doesn't understand, cut them off.
and they do and that's the heartbreaking stories for me, one of them is hearing these family members literally talk about the fact that they haven't spoken to their children in years
Yep.
because they just don't understand. And you can't have a conversation with someone that is just like, I just don't understand. That was exactly what my father said to me when I told him that I was gay and that you and I were engaged and that we were getting married.
Yep.
He was like, I don't understand it. I love you and I support you. And the most important thing that I need to know is that she's going to take care of you the way that I take care of you. And I said, she is. And he's like, I still don't understand, but it doesn't mean that I don't love you. And I could have been angry at him because what do you mean you don't understand? What do you mean? Blah, 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 whatever, whatever. It's my life is very different than his growing up.
Yeah.
Very different. And I got to choose on whether or not I wanted to have a relationship with him. But what they do in this whole twin flame thing is that they tell you that if someone doesn't accept or understand you completely,
Then it's over.
you need to cut ties
It's not enough for you, yeah,
because what's the best way to keep that control is to isolate everybody else that is of rhyme and reason.
from friends and family
Right.
and anybody that could think differently than you.
100%. So what's happening is that these families are losing their, I mean, and the father of Shalia even says it. He's like, as heartbreaking as it is, he goes, I have to think about the fact that my daughter Megan is dead.
Yeah,
He's like, because the woman, this Shalia that she walks around as, I do not agree with what she's
she's
doing. And I do not agree with how she is treating people and what she's doing to people and how she's taking advantage of them. And I guess this whole big she wrote this whole big letter to him. And he's like, I guess the best way to cut somebody off is to literally tear them apart. And that's what she did in this letter. Completely tore him apart and told him and left, right, and sideways on how awful of a parent he was and how awful of a man he is and all this type of stuff and whatever. And he's like, he goes, I miss her dearly. He goes, I miss my daughter, but I have to look at my daughter, Megan, as dead
yeah.
because I don't deserve to be
Yeah,
treated this way anymore. And I don't deserve to
she is
be
Shalia now. She's not
right,
Megan anymore.
right. Yep.
So,
And that's what they do. They just isolate you um and they take from you.
yeah.
They just take and take and take and take and take and
That's all they're
you know,
doing. If you watch it, that's all Jeff and Shalia are doing.
they're
They're
literally
not
making
connected.
money.
Yeah.
They're
They're not
literally taking your
connected to
money.
God.
Right.
They're not connected to the divine. There's no spirituality there that's any greater than anything that you could find, praying on a beach.
Mhm.
You go pray on a beach, that's way more spirituality than what these guys are preaching.
Well, I mean, I know you grew up, your grandparents were very religious,
Mhm.
same as you? Same
Yeah,
religion? Yeah.
yeah,
So,
Methodist.
and your mother too.
Yeah, everybody was Methodist when I was growing up, yeah.
So you grew up very religious in a very religious household, went to church, talked about God, all this type of stuff.
Yep,
But when
scriptures, yep,
yeah, but when you were coming to your own spiritual journey, when you found God, Jesus in your way, in your body, connected to him,
yep.
how how powerful was that? And how could you see that that could be taken advantage of from somebody that preaches such a spirit to be taken advantage of?
Um, it's very funny. The short version is I can say that when I was a kid, I believed what my parents believed and what my grandparents believed because you do.
Mhm,
You follow in your parents' footsteps when you're young. Um, I came to God and Jesus on my own terms and was confirmed on my own terms as a 17, 16, 17-year old. So I was confirmed later
mhm.
than most kids, but um, I got confirmed
When
I
you were
when I
ready.
was ready to
When you
get
were ready.
confirmed, yeah. Uh, for me, it was very powerful when that happened. It was something that I very much needed, and I very much have always carried with me, and uh, has always helped me through my adult life with every struggle I've ever had.
Mhm.
But it is very easy um, to prey on people looking for that haven't found it on their own.
Mhm.
I would say that I probably kind of found it on my own, and most people who have found it on their own, it's a strength onto yourself. It's my personal strength. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It has to do with how I love the word, how I love God, how I love Jesus, how I see it. Um, however many times I've gone back and forth or been mad at God or whatever, that's the relationship between me and God, not a relationship between me and another human being. Right.
That that feels connected to God and a higher power. So did you ever feel that sense of connection to somebody like a priest or a minister or
No.
whatever. No, it was always your personal divine connection to him.
I literally learned from my pastor, or from my grandparents, or I learned it from Bible study friends that I had, or whatever. I learned it from them
Mhm,
and was able to talk about it and share ideas with them.
mhm,
Never felt like my connection to God or my religion or my beliefs were through another person,
mhm.
or I needed that person to be able to talk to God, if you wanna take it that way. I always
Yeah,
felt like I could just talk to God when I wanted to, and when I
yeah,
had questions, I asked God. Um when I needed strength, I prayed. It had nothing to do with me going to touch a ring, the Bible, no person granted me entrance, if you wanna
mm.
go that way.
Yeah, because it very much seems like, and again, obviously I'm asking you all these questions to share because you're very spiritual and you have your religion and your beliefs, and I don't, and we don't have the same. And that's a conversation for another day if we want to have it. Um, but is there ever a sense of feeling like somebody is closer to God than you could personally be to God?
No,
So do you feel like that might be where the the desire is to be in groups like this, where it's
absolutely.
like,
Yeah, the
y
disconnect, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's like they feel like that Jeff and Shalia are closer to God than they could ever be, so why not be as close to the closest that could be closer? Is
Yes.
that's
Yeah, I'm sure all those people think that. In order for
Mhm,
me to talk to God, in order for me to be close to God, in order for me to I have to be close to Jeff and Shalia.
mhm,
Jeff and Shalia talk to God. God told them that I'm supposed to be with this person. God told them that I'm supposed to be a man. God told them that and yeah, I'm absolutely sure that that's the disconnect.
mhm,
Is that they feel like they can't just talk to God. They're not worthy to just talk to God. And you are. You can talk to God whenever you want.
mhm,
You don't have to be confirmed, you don't have to be baptized, you don't have to any of that. If you wanna talk to God, then go find where you wanna talk to God and talk to him.
yeah, yep,
So,
yep,
oh, yeah, that was a mess. I absolutely believe that they're a cult. I absolutely believe that they're taking advantage of people. I absolutely believe that they're stealing people's money based on based on manipulation. And it frustrates me to no end, but,
yeah, it's hard when you use something when somebody uses something that you view very differently as, I mean, here we go back saying it's a weapon again. You're
to
using it
to me,
as,
they're just killing people slowly.
yeah.
You're just mentally killing people, and you're killing them slowly,
Mhm.
instead of a cult that, like, just takes cyanide. And I'm not saying that those weren't terrible. Waco was
Right.
horrible.
Yeah.
All those the other ones are absolutely Manson, horrible. Like, they're
Mhm.
horrible.
Right.
I just feel like the difference is these people are killing, or Jeff and Shalia are killing people slowly and in a more mental way, like a
Yeah.
more emotional, in a more emotional destruction
Yep. Yep.
than a physical one.
Yeah. I think it's just because our lives are so different than they used to be. I mean, if you look back in history, everybody had a mate no matter where you were.
Yeah.
Arranged marriages were the thing, and
Yeah.
not saying that was the right way to go, but everybody had a person, everybody had
But yeah,
security, everybody whatever.
or you had family. You
Right.
just had a whole family of
Yep.
siblings and nieces and nephews and cousins and
Yep.
whatever, and you weren't. And now we're just stuck in an age where social media or whatever makes you it's
Yeah,
by yourself.
and it makes dating awful.
Oh my god, yeah.
It makes dating awful. So how do you find somebody? It's almost, I
In
mean, it's, you could even look at it as that this is a new version of arranged marriage, but in a very
a very
s- dis
disgusting way, but
yeah, in
yeah.
a very delusional kind of way of like, okay, two people have to be together in order for this. teaching this practice, this guarantee that they're promising everybody that they're going to find their person, that they're going to find their person. And so, how do they do it? They arrange for these people to be together. And because they don't have enough men,
Yep.
and they're still living by the values of God, which again, here we are using God's word against us, is that like it has to be a man and a woman, you know? And so how do you do that? Is that you force people to fall into a view, or you force people to fall in line to live out your narrative that you're telling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's the new version of arranged marriage these cults are, you
Well,
know?
this one is definitely
Well, this
that.
one,
I
yeah.
don't. I haven't. Again, I feel like having been married for 12 years, like we've been under a rock for a little while
Yeah,
and haven't
well,
seen all the things that are happening. But
it makes me forever grateful that you and I are together and we found each other. And, for me, part of the reason that this was so interesting to me was because I know I know how valuable community is when you're trying to figure shit out. And
it
the
is
fact that you're taking
the community and leading you down the wrong
yeah,
path. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And everybody is so hyped when you get in there and this is a good place to be and blah 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 blah. But then you literally it's like you come in there and you're mentally abused.
Yeah.
You're mentally torn down, feeling worse than you did when you first came in. And listen, I'm not saying that and again, I'm only speaking from my perspective. When I did my work and worked with Mayor and had to go through my bullshit and worked with Nick and had to go through my bullshit and whatever, I had to face all my truths and I had to face all my hard shit to be able to go through it and come out on the other side. But when I came out on the other side,
You weren't manipulated. That's the
and I
difference.
wasn't yes, and I wasn't manipulated, and I
Yeah.
wasn't told that I needed to be a certain way. I was challenged as fuck, and I did the work to be where I am now, but that's where a true life coach comes into play,
Yeah.
or a spiritual healer. It's like, I'm not telling you what to believe. What I'm saying is this is what I see. And have you thought of it this way?
And
And they don't do that.
they always say that spirituality is the best field to go into because you don't need any credentials.
And isn't it the best form of manipulation?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. If you're alone, you're lonely, you don't, you're insecure, you're all these things, and someone comes along and tells you, hey, through this spirituality work, through God, through all these things, if you listen to me, I can give you everything you've been looking for.
Mhm.
Fuck, you're gonna take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, if someone asks you, why is spirituality so important to you? Why do you feel like, I mean, for you personally, or if you don't want to answer that,
no, it's fine.
why do you feel like cults like this can survive through the importance of spirituality?
Everybody is looking for, or oh, whatever, not everybody, but people in general are just looking for um a thing to live by, an ethos, and that's probably why he called himself Ender or
Yeah,
whatever. He put
whatever. Yep.
ethos at the end of his name or some
Yep.
crap.
Yep.
Everybody is looking for, those 10 commandments, those things that if I do these 10 things, my life's going to work out great,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
And without going into a whole lot of religious background and whatnot, you want to be able to do those things that are said that will help you with your life, and you want your life to work out.
Mhm.
The problem is, and that's a problem that Jeff and Shalia have started to run into, is when you tell them, hey, this is the ethos, these are the 10 things you have to do, and your life will work out. And then they do those 10 things, and then it doesn't work out. So they tell you to do another 10 things, and then it doesn't work out again. And then they tell you to do another 10. Like, you'll keep doing it to a certain point.
Mhm.
You'll keep trying to do those 30 things to have your life work out the way that you want it to work out, and
Mhm.
then
Then you start to
that
question.
yeah, and then you don't believe in God. And that's
Mhm.
just regular, like, to me, regular atheism, regular, like, God didn't give you, you did what you thought God wanted you to do, and you did it, and then you didn't get what you thought your reward should be.
Mhm.
And it's kind of the same thing with these cults. You just keep doing it, doing it, doing it. The
Because
only
they promised you something.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And then when it doesn't work out, that's when all these cults get messed up.
Mm. So as long as they have believers in it,
Yeah.
they're gonna be living
Yeah.
on.
Yep. Absolutely.
And if and then they start to shun the questioners, and it's easier to just shun them and tell them that they're
The more they
wrong.
shun the questioners, the more that they're going to get found out.
Yeah.
Because the more that the questioners are going to be mad.
Well, they're sharing insight completely. That's what I said. The power, they thought that this recording thing was going to be a great thing. What's happening is that you're leaving this on public records
You're
where
starting to
people
see
could
how
see it.
manipulated you were. That's
Yes.
half the problem with some of the churches that are out right now. Is it's just like people feel like, oh, I gave you money, I gave you tithes, I prayed, I knelt, I stood, I read, I sang, I did all these things, and you know, it's not working out the way that I thought.
Mhm.
And so they get mad.
Yep.
And then churches start to be found out to be corrupt and blah. That's what I don't think. It doesn't necessarily need to be found in a church. It can be found in a community. You can have a community
Mhm.
and just people that believe and people that, understand that this is just it it's a feeling of connection. It's a feeling of being together. It's a feeling of you
Belonging.
guys all believe in the same thing. It's a feeling of that. Yeah,
Mhm.
belonging.
Mhm.
And it it doesn't mean that God's gonna give you $1,000,000 fucking. It doesn't mean that he is gonna keep horrible. We all have free will. Horrible shit's gonna happen to us because we all make horrible decisions all the time.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
not God's fault.
Yeah.
But
And that's usually the narrative, is that when bad things
yeah.
happen, it's his fault.
But this cult is not that. This
Yeah.
cult is just, hey, I'm promising you this, and then it doesn't happen, doesn't happen, doesn't happen, and then people are like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Especially when you believe, or you're searching for belief. This
Yeah,
whole idea of souls connecting.
yeah,
That's just another.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
anyway, before we go into anything else, hey, you want to try this last cold call? I totally want to try this last cold
Yeah,
call.
go ahead.
I'm gonna try the cold call. I'm gonna
if
see if the cold call works.
see if it works.
We'll see what happens.
Huh.
Ooh, turn the volume
I don't know how.
down on the Bluetooth. See if it works.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm totally cold calling you right now, and it worked.
Oh, on your podcast.
Yeah, you're live. I totally cold called you and you answered.
Dang!
Yes.
Yes.
My life is absolutely complete right now.
Oh my god.
Hey, do you have the same problems I have?
No, because I have a 13. I don't have the 15. You have the fancy shit.
You think it's the newer phone causing my problem?
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Hey, do you
God,
wanna
it sucks.
weigh in like for 2 seconds about trans away the gay?
Sure. Trans away the gay. What's trans away the gay?
Trans away the gay is people wanting, like, in order to make it so people aren't gay, you have to be trans.
Yeah.
So if I was a trans man and my wife is a female, then we would be straight. So they're transing away the gay. Oh, did we?
Yeah, yeah, no. I'm trying to get my head wrapped around that. Anytime I hear that, so you're basically saying that if I'm a dude,
Yep.
and I dress up as a girl,
Yes.
and chop my penis off, and now I'm a girl. I'm claiming I'm a girl, and I marry a man that's not a trans couple.
No, that's a straight couple.
Yeah, no.
That's transing away the
No.
gay. So gay people are
No.
gone.
No.
Yeah, right.
No. No. Hey, here's the deal. And here's the deal. At the end of the day, if you're a dude and you think you're a girl, you just got to deal with it. And that if you think that the solution is going to be to take drugs or chop off body parts, you're deeply wrong. There's not one single person that's ever been happy with that decision and finds peace in their life. No one finds peace going down that way. No one finds peace getting fake titties. No one finds peace getting piercings. No one finds peace getting tattoos. Those are all distractions from things we eventually have to face.
Yes.
There's no peace in looking for a solution on the outside. Now, can you do that stuff? Sure. Tattoos may be fun. Piercings, getting big old fake set of titties. But at the end of the day, you're not going to find peace that way. You're just adding complexity to your life. Our being is not happy. The perfect woman is a woman with no fucking makeup, naked and pregnant somewhere. And the perfect man has a spear in his hand and is standing on a hilltop looking for food to make his queen happy. And so that's, whether you like that or not, or believe that or not, it doesn't matter. That's like
I love it.
Our history.
That's our fate. Now, a bunch of us are doing different shit, but we're not going to find peace that way.
Yeah, because what everybody's telling me is, or what the cult that I found, the thing that I found, they're telling me I'm the divine masculine, and so I was supposed to be a boy. I was supposed to be born a boy, and I wasn't.
So even if that's true, chopping off your tits is not going to bring you happiness. That's fine. That can be true. I was supposed to be a girl. I get it. But that's it's okay.
You're a total les. I know you're a lesbian. It's
totally okay. But taking those actions to do it's a psychiatric condition. We all have to accept. We have to accept our what's dealt to us. When we take action on the outside instead of taking action on the inside to accept it, we're just adding complexity and misery. No one's like, oh my God, all of a sudden I feel like myself. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I like that.
Yourself was accepting the fact that you were born in the wrong body. It's okay. I have compassion for myself. I totally have compassion for myself that I was born in the wrong body. I accept it. It's cool. I'm going to have fun with it.
I like that. Take action on the inside or you're taking action on the outside instead of taking action on the inside. I like that a lot. That's how
about like the guy, like people who get the tattoo, stillness first. Well, you didn't do stillness. You actually, instead of doing stillness, you went out and got a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like the guy, what's his name? The Ryan Holiday guy.
Yeah, the guy that was laying in the grass.
Yeah. The stoicism guy. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that. I got all my tattoos were emotional tattoos. Every single one. I would not say. Every single.
It makes total sense.
Yep. Every single tattoo I got was an emotional tattoo. Every piercing I got was an emotional piercing. I can't argue that I was in stillness when I got tattoos or piercings.
Yeah. And it's not that it's wrong or that it's right. It's just that like you have to accept those things of what you're doing. It's okay to be like, yep, I didn't want to deal with my drug addiction and face it. So I've now turned into an ultra marathoner. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we know that ultra marathoners have fucking issues.
I think we all do.
People covered in tattoos. Yeah. People in tattoos were probably mostly meth heads at some point.
You find
we get it.
You find something else to be addicted to. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. You're coping with it on the outside, but at the end, if you want to be happy and find peace, you're gonna have to face it and accept it. Okay, that's who I am.
Dude, you're the best.
Yes, I am a woman trapped in a man's body. Yeah, that's cool. Not, oh my God, I need to chop my penis off. No. Oh my God, I'm a woman. Oh my God, I'm a woman who's got a huge dick. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you answering this phone call. You're
Love you guys.
Best.
Anytime, girl.
I was gonna say this is a great insight to see what these phone calls are like.
Love you.
Hey, it's my first time being on the phone call. It sounds great. Way better than I thought. Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my God. So those are conversations. Those are
the calls. Conversations that we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super fun. That's
so funny.
Makes so much sense. Something we'll dig into another day, but super fun.
All right.
Clinton, thanks.
Deuces.
Oh my God.